The Spanish Civil War, which lasted from 1936 to 1939, was one of the most pivotal and tragic conflicts of the 20th century, not only reshaping Spain but also serving as a prelude to the global confrontations of World War II. The war arose from profound divisions in Spanish society, politics, and economics, which had been brewing for decades. These tensions came to a head in 1931 when the monarchy was overthrown, and the Second Spanish Republic was established. The Republic's initial reforms, aimed at modernizing the country, included land redistribution, labor protections, secularizing education, and curbing the influence of the Catholic Church. While these measures were celebrated by workers, peasants, and intellectuals, they deeply alarmed conservatives, landowners, and the Church, creating a volatile political climate. As conservative forces pushed back, the Republic oscillated between left and right-leaning governments, each reversing the policies of the other. This political instability reached a breaking point in 1936, when the leftist Popular Front coalition won the general elections. The victory further polarized the nation. Strikes, political violence, and assassinations became commonplace, reflecting the deepening chasm between the left, which sought profound social change, and the right, determined to preserve traditional values and order. In July 1936, a group of military officers, led by General Franco and others, staged a coup against the Republic. While the coup initially failed to take the entire country, it ignited a civil war, dividing Spain into two opposing factions, the Republicans and the Nationalists. The Republicans represented a broad coalition of left-wing groups, including socialists, communists, anarchists, and regional nationalists from Catalonia and the Basque Country. Despite their shared opposition to Franco, these factions often struggled to cooperate, as ideological differences sometimes led to infighting. The Nationalists, on the other hand, were a more cohesive force led by Franco. They included conservatives, monarchists, fascists from the Falange Party, and traditionalists. Their aim was clear: to dismantle the Republic and establish an authoritarian regime that upheld conservative Catholic values and suppressed dissent. The war quickly drew international attention and intervention, as it was seen as a clash of ideologies: fascism against communism, conservatism against liberalism. Franco's nationalists received substantial aid from Fascist Italy and Nazi Germany. Hitler, in particular, saw the conflict as an opportunity to test new military tactics and weapons, sending troops, aircraft, and equipment. One of the most infamous acts of this intervention was the bombing of Guernica in April 1937, where German aircraft devastated the Basque town, killing hundreds of civilians and leaving a lasting mark on the world's conscience. Meanwhile, the Republicans were supported by the Soviet Union, which sent weapons, advisors, and funding, though often with conditions that deepened tensions among Republican factions. The Republican side also attracted volunteers from around the world who joined the international brigades, motivated by the belief that the fight in Spain was a stand against the rise of fascism. However, Western democracies such as Britain, France, and the United States largely adhered to a policy of non-intervention, fearing that involvement might escalate into a larger European war. The war was marked by brutal fighting and significant battles. Madrid, the capital, became a focal point of Republican resistance, enduring a prolonged siege by nationalist forces. The Battle of Jarama and the Battle of Guadalajara in 1937 temporarily halted the nationalist advance, showing the resilience of Republican forces despite their internal challenges. Yet, as the war dragged on, the nationalists gained the upper hand, thanks to their superior military organization and foreign aid. The fall of key Republican strongholds, such as Bilbao in the Basque Country and later Catalonia in 1938 to 1939, signaled the collapse of Republican resistance. By the time Franco's forces captured Madrid in March 1939, the war was effectively over. The consequences of the Spanish Civil War were devastating. The conflict claimed the lives of over 500,000 people, including combatants and civilians, and left much of the country in ruins. Those who opposed Franco faced brutal repression, many were executed, imprisoned, or forced into exile. Franco established a fascist dictatorship that would rule Spain with an iron fist until his death in 1975, suppressing regional languages, cultures, and political dissent. For decades, the wounds of the war remained a deeply divisive topic in Spain, as families grappled with the loss and trauma caused by the conflict. Internationally, the war was a warning of the dangers posed by unchecked ideological extremism and the reluctance of Western democracies to confront fascism. It became a symbol of the ideological battles of the 20th century, immortalized in works of art, literature, and film, such as Pablo Picasso's Guernica and George Orwell's Homage to Catalonia. Even today, the Spanish Civil War remains the subject of intense study and debate, reflecting its enduring impact on Spain and the world.